So 2021's not over yet. You know, we've still got a little. We got three, 3 months, 3 months to go,
Yeah, something like yeah.
and which still means 3 slots for films or 3 dates, 3 month. Yeah, whatever. More films are coming out. Basically, what are you excited for?
Personally, um, is it Dune? June? I can never say it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you're on
I'm
about.
excited. Yeah, I'm excited for that because I feel like it's the type of science fiction that should be up my street. But also, I really like the director Denis Villeneuve.
Right.
Is the Donny who did Blade Runner 2049,
Oh snap.
Arrival, uh, what else? Prisoners.
Yeah.
He's only made bangers.
I wasn't really
Um,
interested until you said it was Blade Runner
Blade
2049
Runner.
guy,
Yeah,
and damn.
visuals look crazy. Also, like wifey's in that film, so it has to be done. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, okay. Here's one
Yeah.
that got a new trailer the other day, and I almost forgot was even coming out. Last Night in Soho,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
which
definitely
is
up there.
it looks so good. It looks so. It's like a time hopping murder mystery, horror slasher. I it
It's
looks sick.
covering a lot of bases. No, no, I'm
Yeah,
gonna enjoy it.
and again, Edgar Wright's never made a bad movie.
Nah.
What about you? Is there anything you're excited for?
Um, Spider-Man, of course. That goes
Ah,
without
yeah.
saying. I don't know whether it is coming out this year. Yeah, it is. It is. Um, Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh yeah.
That, like, I know I haven't seen the stage play of it, but like, the film looks good.
Yeah.
So, and I'm always happy to see like musicals from stage come to the big screen
Movies.
because it opens it up to a bigger audience. And I am all
I
about
think
it. I'm all about
yeah.
it.
I think it's quite funny because it's the way they're like marketing it and like going for it is they're very clearly like going for like the awards push.
Yeah.
I yeah. Also I think it's hilarious that Ben Platt is who originated. Is that the word I'm looking
He,
for?
I
He
know
he
what you
was the
mean. He
first
played the guy.
like
Yeah.
Evan Hansen. Yeah. Um, so he is gonna be playing Evan Hansen again in the movie, who is in high school. And the first thing that most people would know Ben Platt from was Pitch Perfect,
Yeah.
where he played a guy going into college, and that was 10 years ago.
God damn.
And now he's playing someone in high school, so that's fun. That little derpy David Dobrik looking guy. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head. I'm quite enjoying the way that Marvel are really playing up the fact that Chloe Zhao won Best Director,
Yeah.
and so like every time you see like a trailer for Eternals, it's like from Academy Award winner, and you're like, all right, calm down, you're still a Marvel film,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, but yeah, should be a good year for film.
Yeah. Let's hope it closes off with some bangers.
The two damn cousins out, they're watching movies.
Hello, everyone. I think it's my intro this week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
How's it going? We're back.
L'chaim.
It's time for another episode. Last week we played it easy. You know, we just did another one of our off the cuff idea episodes, you know. Back and forward. Just different things that might not be big enough for their own episode but still good enough to let out. But now we're going back to the roots.
Back
spinning
to
the reel.
formula.
You love to see it. How are you anyway this week, man?
I'm real good. I am real good. I can't lie. Yeah, I feel like whenever you ask me how I'm doing, it's just gonna be the same for the next few months. It's just I'm working, going gym,
Yeah.
sleeping, hoping that this existence, means something. So because I don't want to wake up in 10 years and still be in the same job I am now, and then be
Yeah.
like, what am I doing? Why haven't I found love?
Oh.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm not bad. I am decent.
That's what's good.
Chugging
That's what's
along.
up.
So,
Yeah.
as we said, back to the formula. We're just gonna spin the wheel, see what we get, see what we come up with.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's do it.
Spin
Boom.
that reel.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Sorry, the reel is spinning. But since we were just saying back to formula,
Yeah.
that's got Spider-Man memes stuck in my head. And I saw one the other day, and it was like, like how Drake's got that lyric on his new album, and it's like, says that you a lesbian girl, me too.
Yeah. I've heard
Yeah,
that, yeah.
it's that, but it's like you know the meme of Norman Osborn, and he's like, oh, I'm something of a, and then it just says lesbian
myself.
myself. Anyway, what film we got?
What did we get?
Okay, imagine we're in a church, yeah.
Okay.
Lord help me, I can't No?
No.
Okay, we got Kingsman.
Kingsman. Ah, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And that was my perfect rendition of Freebird, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, Kingsman. Oh, that's out this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about that,
James
but I didn't know if it
Bond!
was coming. So, James Bond, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I think
I
they
just
should have went with the original script that we put in, but whatever.
This is true. This is very. I just want to see Rami Malek's weird little face, little Tutankhamun himself,
Yeah.
or whoever he played. It wasn't Tutankhamun. Who was it? It was someone. Akman Ra, the tablet of Akman Ra. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we should do Night at the Museum one day.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that's what's up. Anywho, sorry. Yeah, so we got Kingsman.
Yeah, then with the randomizers.
Hit me with them magic words, Cameron.
Spin that reel. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm spinning that reel. Get out of my way. I know you feel. Okay. I really should label these better because it just says kids. I'm assuming it means turn it into like a children movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Or maybe it's just a movie full of baby goats. Who knows? Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. The most difficult one that always pops up every now and
Okay.
again. I think we've got it like 3 times now.
Okay.
It has to have a game show plot.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's quite doable.
Nothing spring to mind at the minute for me.
We have to John Green that bish as well.
Okay, so it has to be a kids film with a game show plot, and we have to make it into a John Green film.
Yeah.
Which, when we last got that, we completely shifted away from that, but this time I think we
Oh,
need
so
to
we
keep
did.
on, keep with it.
Okay, so what I'm picturing is like a Hannah Baker origin story. No, sorry. Any ideas?
No, not off the top of my head. This is gonna be a hard one. philosophy, I think.
Yeah. I feel like because like a lot of those don't intersect well,
No.
or if they do, like the film that we would get would be nothing Kingsman adjacent.
Related. Kingsman by name, not by nature. Oh, I don't know. Oh.
Hmm. Right, so first things first, are we gonna do like a sequel or a prequel or like a spin-off or
Get a spin off, I think.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Kingsman
what
Academy.
okay.
Kids who like train in this
Oh, yeah,
academy
yeah.
sort of thing. And
Okay. Oh, like a young James Bond books or like an Alex Rider kind of vibe.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're also like dealing with the fact maybe like they catch on a bit and they're dealing with the fact that they're being trained and bred pretty much just for like this purpose to be these spies, which to some people would be kind of cool, but then to them it's like, oh, we're just training our entire lives to go out and maybe get killed
Yeah.
if we can't protect ourselves well enough. And it has that whole John Green like moment of like, let's escape this place and go be normal teenagers or something.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
they fall in love, but then I don't know, one of them gets hit by
In the was there?
hit. Yeah, well, combine them. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say like I can see the trailer in my head and it's like it's kind of like a I could save the world but who's gonna save me and
Yeah,
it's you've just got nights like this lead to I don't know the words bonfire heart that kind of
Yeah.
that kind of energy like the whole you need to get lost to get found kind
yeah,
of
yeah. Okay.
oh our main okay also this means that our main kids have to have really pretentious names
Yeah,
because what's the one from Paper Tap Margot something
yeah, I know what you mean. So you need to call them like fucking uh
Margot Ruff Spiegelman.
yeah. Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
So we'll have Phillips, Dingleberg, and I don't know, Violet,
God. Nah, kid.
Tyrannosaur. Okay. Do you want to start us off or should I?
Okay, I'll start us off.
Yeah, cool.
Cause within reason you can have violence in a kids film. Look at
Yeah,
early
yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, make it
Walt
like
Disney
Spy
killed
Kids.
his actual parents.
Damn.
That's not that's true. That's a fact. Not like physically. But he bought them a house, and then the house had a gas leak, and they died in their sleep.
Oh my god.
So anyway,
Plays on his conscience.
yeah, that's why all his mothers die in the films.
Makes sense.
They do.
Go on. Start
Okay.
us off.
So our main character's name is I've already forgotten. I'm the worst with names.
Make another one up. Go on. I know one, but let's have it change like constantly.
Oh, okay. Oh, Dustin Matarazzo. Yeah, see, that's genius because I won't forget that.
Yeah. All right.
So Dustin Matarazzo is just a down on his luck kid,
Yeah.
but he's really bright, and he's coming home from another day of school on his bike, and he's also played by Gaten Matarazzo. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The one who plays Dust. The
Yeah.
so he's played by him, and he's riding his bicycle home, and then like there are bully kids, and they're like, "Hey, what you doing, you dickheads?" And he's like, "I'm just trying to go home. Leave me alone." And they're like, "Pfft," as if, and he's like, "Leave me alone." And they go, "What are you gonna do about it?" And he goes, "I said I've had enough." And he like throws his bike down. And he goes over to him, and he like clenches his fists. And they're like,
Yeah.
ooh, watch out for Dustin." Ooh.
It's about to lay
And
hands on him.
and you just hear, "That's enough, boys." And like the leader of their gang is like somewhat, like that guy who's been held back a few years, but he's still in the school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he walks forward, and it's Steve Buscemi. He's like, "That's enough, boys." He's like, "We don't waste our time with pond scum like him, do we?" Yeah. "Look at you. You're nothing." And he pushes him, and he like lands in a puddle.
Oh. You better scramble like an egg, but it gets folded like an omelet.
I still say that like at least twice a week.
Sorry, go on.
You sounded like the guy who sings the South Park theme song.
Okay.
So okay, so yeah. So he picks up his bike and goes back home, and he gets in, and his dad is played by Michael Rooker.
Right.
Yeah, and he sat on on a chair, drinking a Stella in a white string vest. You know how it is. And you can hear he's just shouting at the TV. It's like some generic game show.
Oh yeah. Right.
And he's like, "It's 7 or whatever." And then you just hear the host go, "I'm sorry, but the answer we were looking for was Hades." And he's like, but like just before he says it, you hear like Dustin under his breath just mutter Hades, because he's a genius.
Yeah.
So he comes in, and he sits on his bed, and he's very big into robots. So he's got himself a little robot gang that he like sits and plays with, and he's like, "Oh, hey there." They're like these semi-sentient robots, not sentient enough to be like, "What is life?"
Yeah.
But sentient enough, like the like the grabber arm from Iron Man,
Yeah.
that kind of level. And one of his friends are like malfunctioning and spinning. So he's like, "Yeah, I knew I forgot something. I'll head back out. I'll go get you that part now." And he's like, so he heads out. He has to sneak out through the window, but like you see him sneak out, and his dad's still just sat there in the background, not moving from his chair.
Damn.
And he like climbs over a gate and whatnot. But so he's real like agile and parkour-esque.
Yeah.
And he gets into this place, and he's like, "Look at all this stuff." Okay. And he's like sorting through all of it, and he finds like this. It's like a lighter. Right. And he's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." He's like, "Why is this just left here?" And he like opens it, and it starts beeping.
Right.
He's like, "What the hell?" And he like puts it to his ear, and like the beeping speeds up.
Jesus.
And he's like, "What the hell?" And so he just throws it away. And he goes beep 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 beep. Silence. He's like, "Oh." He was like, "Yeah, I'm just being paranoid. Why the hell would it?" And it
Jeez.
explodes out of nowhere. And the reason he's been sneaking around is not only because he's trespassing, but the guy who owns the shop, like the junkyard that he's at, is the head bully is his dad.
Yeah.
So his dad comes out, also played by Steve Buscemi. And he's like, "What are you doing out here, boy?" And he like pumps his shotgun.
Damn.
And he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Ah, ah!" And he's like, he's running away, like ducking and weaving. And the bully comes out as well, and he's like, "Oh, it's him." He's like, "Don't worry, Dad. I'll get him. I'll get him." On some real like Parent Trap, like camera split kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's like sprinting, and we've got like a high speed chase, if you will, but on foot, because I feel like we don't get to see many foot chases anymore in films.
Yeah.
So he's running, and like as we get to see, Dustin's very adept at like parkour and whatnot. You know, it's just more so because like yes, physically he's pretty decent, but he's a genius. So he can like you see him like look at things, and you like calculates like I need to put my foot here and the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, one of
Every step is calculated.
Exactly. So he's like pow 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 pow, and he does all that, and he leaves the bully in the dust, and he like goes ha ha or something.
Yeah.
And he's like running, so he's on the other side of the fence, and the bully's like now in a puddle.
Yeah.
You know, because reflections. And he's running, but he's like looking behind him.
Yeah.
And as he's looking behind him, so the camera is like over his shoulder, so we can see what's in front of him, but he can't. But we can just see him looking back and what's in front of him.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's running, and he's like, haha, and as he is, like a van pulls up.
Oh, I.
In front of him, and when he looks forward, it's too late.
Oh.
He's like, ah! He gets grabbed and like snatched straight into the back of the van. Everything goes black.
Oh my.
He's like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you going?" Sleep. His body goes limp.
Oh.
He wakes up in a strange new room, tied to a chair. Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot to add the reason the lighter like starts beeping isn't just because he opened it. You've got to like use like a specific sequence or something to get it to open at all.
Yeah.
That's like the equivalent of their like safety.
Mm-hmm.
And he like looks at it, and within like a few seconds he figures it out.
I see.
And so he wakes up, and in this room, there's just the big boss, and she walks in, and she's like, "How did you figure it out? You know, where's Tennessee?" And he's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Where's Tennessee? Where is he?" He's like, look at me, I'm a kid. I don't know what Tennessee is. You Tennessee in Texas? I don't know. Tennessee's in Texas, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." She's like, his distress beacon went off, followed by his self-destruct. So we assumed that it was you who cornered him and made him do that. And he was like, "No, I did nothing of the sort. Honestly, I was just in the junkyard looking for parts for Scrappy." And she's like, "What's a Scrappy?" And he's like, "He's my little friend. I've got to hold it." And she's like, "I haven't got time for this. I don't care." And she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, I'm Dustin Matarazzo." And she just goes, "Okay. That's what's up, man." No, I kid. Yeah, he's like, "I'm Dustin Matarazzo." And she's like, "So it was you who activated the distress call?" And he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I just saw a lighter, it wouldn't open, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, it just needs this. And so I did that, and then here we are." It's just like, "So you're telling me you looked at this lighter and was able to figure out how to do that?" And he was like, "Yes, my brain works differently to other people. I don't know. It's just kind of a thing. Everyone calls me a freak." Yeah, I'm not like most guys. Colon capital P. And she's like, "Wow." She's like, "Just give me a minute." And she like goes out and like talks to her manager or whatever. Well, not manager, but like the big boss. But you don't see his face. And he's like, "This kid could be like a prime candidate for for the for the initiative.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, this is a something that's been dead for years. Why would we try to bring it back now? And how do we know we can trust this guy? And she's like, well, this is why I'm coming to you about it. If anyone would know, it would be you. You're one of the best teen agents to ever live.
Oh.
Please, Agent Banks. What do you think?
Agent Cody Banks.
Yeah. And you just see, what's his name? Frankie Muniz's face. He's all chiseled and old. And he's like, I don't know. It's like, but right now we don't really have a choice, do we?
Damn.
All right, get him into camp. I guess the freedom, the future of the freedom of the free world rests on this kid's shoulders, and it just cuts back to him, and he's like picking his nose or something. And then what happens?
Okay, so you flash forward to him like driving into this camp, and the woman's all like, "All right, so you'll be staying with us for a couple of months. We're gonna train you up. We need your help. You're excellent. You don't often see kids like your age come out this incredible." And he's like, "Oh, but what about my dad?" He's like, "Don't worry, we've informed him. He's absolutely fine with it." And it just cuts to him like, "Oh, 96. The
Yeah.
correct answer is 54. Fuck." And then he's like, "Yes, you're gonna live here forever. You can learn some new skills. Not forever, sorry. For a couple of months, you can learn some new skills, and then we're gonna put you out in the field, and it's gonna be great." He's like, "Yeah, all right. This seems awesome." It's like finally he's moving out of his like dead end life. He's finally moving up in the world, and he just sees like all these kids. They don't look too happy, but they're like training and stuff, like kicking dummies and stuff, and they just watch him walking through. He's like, "Oh boy, I don't think I'm gonna be like to, or it's gonna be like school all over again." So like sets up in his room, and he's got like a roommate who comes in. He's like the quirky like kid with glasses, what a nerd. Just like gets on with everyone. Like, "Hey, how's it going, man? I'm your roommate. I'm oh, algebra or something."
Sorry,
I needed,
Algebra Jones.
yeah, I needed like a real out
Yeah.
there name, quirky. That's So yeah, I'm algebra. Nice to meet ya. He's like, "Oh, hi, Dustin. How's it going?" So well, I think you might enjoy it here. He's like, you don't really hear people say you might enjoy a place. You hear them say you will or won't. He's like, "Yeah, well, I don't," and he just laughs and leaves the room. He's like, "What? Like, isn't this supposed to be really cool? And we're traded to become spies and stuff. What?" So then anyway, he unpacks a bit and then goes down for like a tour, and so it's just led by the same woman who's going around. She's like, "Yeah, so this is where like you do some of your like normal schoolwork. You got the maths classes here, the English classes. Down here, you've got like the uh gun training rooms." He's like, "I'm gonna learn how to use a gun." She's like, "Yeah, well, only on Tuesdays and Fridays." And then she's like, "Over here's the cafeteria, and over here's like the gym class," and that's when he sees her. Violet Tyranitar. She's like,
What's that surname? Sorry.
Tyranitar. And she's like, uh, doing that whole like, in what's that film? The Greatest Showman, and you got
Oh,
Zendaya
it like
doing all
slows
like the
down. Yeah.
hoops and shit, and it's like that, and she's all like stretchy and shit, and he's like, "Whoa, she looks incredible," and she sees him, and I don't know, she just pulls like a gun out of the back of her head and just like shoots the door to close it or something. And he's like, "Whoa, damn, that's epic. I like that." So they carried on. He's like, "Oh, who was that girl in there?" She was like, "Oh, that's Violet. You gotta be careful around people here. You don't want to get to know these people too well because they might be your friends on a mission." But that's it. you need to cut yourself off from distractions like friends and the outside world and everything. From now on, you know, you're an agent of our service. He's like, what service are you? You haven't really told me who you are. And they're like, that will come in due time. For now, enjoy your time here. You're going to learn some incredible skills that you wouldn't have learned in a normal school like that you went to. You're going to be appreciated here a lot. So make yourself comfortable because you won't be leaving for a very long time.
Oh damn.
He's like, all right, cool. So should I just get started on one of my classes or something? She's like, all right, yeah. Have today off. Get yourself familiar with the grounds, and tomorrow you'll start your normal timetable. And so he's like, all right, cool. Well, he goes back. He goes back to see like a girl, and she's just like, I don't know, like that. She's in there with a teacher, and he's shouting at her like, "God's sake, what did I tell you? You have to be pristine. You have to no mistakes." And then like they both look at the door, and he's like, "Oh crap!" and just ducks under, hides. Oh wow. He's like, "What is this feeling I feel? I'm in love." And then he just goes back to his room. Algebra's in there, like I don't know, hanging upside down off the ceiling, like doing a crossword or something. He's like, "Oh, how'd you like it? Yeah, what do you think of the grounds?" He's like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not too bad." He's like, "Yeah, well, get used to it. It's all you're gonna be seeing for the next however long you're staying here. What are you on, the fast track, the long track, the slow track, the quick track?" It's like, I don't really know what track I'm on. It's like, well, you should have found out about the track. That's the first thing you find out about. It's how long you're gonna stay here. He's like, "Oh, okay, well, is it too late to like get a new roommate?" He's like, "That's what they all say when they're around me. Don't worry, man. You know, I've only been here for like 4 years. You know, they can't get rid of me, but that's because I don't want to go out on the field, and I know my skills are much more suited to like indoor work and stuff. But yeah, stick with me, kid. I'll show you the ropes." He's like, I don't really want, I wouldn't like that." He's like, "Yeah, well, hit the hay tomorrow. We're gonna hit it hard. Me and you, Dustin and algebra, together, 100 years." And then he's like, "Right, whatever." He just puts on his headphones, and then some like indie song starts playing, and all he can't stop thinking about is the girl. And like then he thinks about his dad, just shouting at the TV. He's like, "Oh, am I really not gonna be able to see him for that long? What about my robots? Damn." So anyway, they start, and it's like you're a big sort of PE lesson. They're doing a beep test or something, but it's like more than that. It's like
Yeah, it's like it's the beep test, but in between, every time you run back and forth, there's like a different thing. There's
yeah,
like a different obstacle. Like
yeah,
they'll fire a gun at you or something. Or...
yeah. You got to dodge all that kind of stuff, and it's like it's the only time that all the candidates are really together, and maybe there's like I don't know 6 including him, and they're all like different varied shapes and sizes and all that. And Algebra He's like, oh, he's sitting on the sidelines. Maybe he's like, "Yeah, I don't do these things, man. As I said, I'm more of a indoor kind of man. Man behind the screen." And Dustin's like, "All right, whatever." They're like, "Oh, looks like we got a new boy here. Dustin, is it? So they picked you up off Maine." And they're like, "Well, he's." Everybody's looking at him, looking up and down. He's really nervous. He's like, "Go on, why don't you try out the course first?" He's like, "What does it entail?" It's like, "Simple. You just gotta run him back and forth within the allotted time. Pretty simple, isn't it? Go give it a try." He does it the first time, and it is simple. Nothing happens. Everyone's just like snickering and stuff, and he's like, What?" And so they, all right, they go, "All right, everyone, you know what to do." So they all line up. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. First thing comes up. He's like, "What the hell?" And it's like one of those massive rope climbing things. They gotta climb over the rope and then like get over the top of it and then jump down, sort of thing. Go back, do that again. Bam. He's like, what have I got myself into here? Why am I here? And then it's like another thing. They got swinging pendulums going down, and like people like sliding through them, like doing flips through it, and all kind of like showing off their skills. And he's just like just barely dodging it and stuff. And then it's I don't know what other things could we throw him in there.
Um, I'm trying to think. Because we can't make it too violent because it's still a children's film.
True, true.
Um,
I don't know.
just
Maybe
like.
the Nickelodeon slime drops on top of them, and they have to wad their way through that. And it's like slime. How is this gonna help us in the field? And then I don't know. They get like there's a massive fan on each side, and they've got to like push through the wind and stuff. And this goes on for like it's like a minute and a half montage of all these different things of him like going through it and all that. And then like he just collapses afterwards. Everybody's like, most people are just in good shape, and Algebra's like, nice one, newbie, good work, good work. And then the girl comes up to him and like offers her hand, and then he takes it, and she just nods at him and walks off, and he's like panicking and stuff. Oh god, damn. Oh, female. And then
Mhm.
he goes up to Algebra. He's like, "Hey, what can you tell me about Violet?" He's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't get too mixed up with her. She's she's been here quite a while as well, almost the same amount of time as me. But yeah, she's field ready. She just doesn't want to go out." It's like, "Oh right, well, maybe I can change that." And then Algebra just starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, sure. All right, get to her level before you start thinking of going on missions with people like that." He's like, "Fine then, I will. I'll do it. Do it for her."
And then we see in a montage.
Yeah, of
We're
him
gonna
like
have a montage.
he's gearing up, getting ready, doing it, living his best life. He's like put on a bit of muscle as well. He's like doing better at all these tests and all that, like top grades. And like there's an occasional like thing of them two looking at each other and stuff, and she almost cracks a smile, then doesn't happen, so he works even harder because he wants to see her smile. And then like he's also like marking off like days to get to like the big test of where like this is when you'll be able to when your class is field ready.
Okay.
And this is when like Cody Banks comes back and that woman as well, and they're like, "All right, so should we look at the applicants? Should we see who's like field ready? See who wants to go out and stuff?" And like people, most of them are, but then they just drop it because they don't want to go out and that. And so it gets to this day. He's like, "Oh, I'm ready." I just like, "Damn, you really come along with all that time, huh?" Meanwhile, I've just been here working on my, and then like he just walks out. He doesn't care. It's like, oh, all right then. Just
Oh, stop.
algebra left in the dust again. Well, and so like he's walking to the place, and Violet comes up to him. She's like, "Hey," this is the first time she's spoken to him, and he's like, "Hi, you alright?" And she's like, "Listen, whatever you do, don't pass this test." He's like, "What? But I want to be field ready. I want to go out." She's like, "You don't want to go out. Trust me. This is the safest you'll ever be."
Wait, is this for game show?
Oh, I didn't actually think of that, but we could slot that in as well. Yeah, that can weave into it. So
Sorry.
she's
Yeah,
just
sorry,
like,
proceed.
"Yeah, you don't want to go out." So what? Why? She's like, "Just trust me. This is the safest you'll be here. You don't want to go anywhere. This is it." It's like, okay. So they get there to this like test, and this is when it's more like a it looks like a studio as well then.
Mhm.
and there's like cameras and stuff, and he just assumes like, oh my god, it is what it is. It's how they like grade us and stuff. You know, they need to
Yeah, yeah.
watch it back, but in reality, it's also like some dark web show where like people pay to watch it, and because it's like kids going up against all this, it's like they can't put it on like over TV or just YouTube or stuff because it's like kids get hurt. So yeah, and they're like, right, well, here's another one, and they're like, oh, this is gonna pay. It's gonna pay the bills for the to keep the organization up and running as well. So do you want to take it from here?
Wait. So who was that? He was just talking to, sir?
So um, where I just said it's gonna keep the organization up and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was just like
the
them
funding
talking
one.
amongst themselves, like the testers and stuff. Like, yeah, this keep it pays the bills
Just
to
keeps the lights
to
on.
do this to like put these kids through
Okay.
all of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got this. I got it. Okay, I got it. 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 I think I've got it. Yeah. So, so they're going through the show and whatnot,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, how do we stop? How do we get out of this? Yeah. No. They're like, oh, it can't be that bad. You know, this is our testing day. Well, this is where things take like a darker turn.
Oh.
It's not like anything grisly because I realize I have a habit of turning things like very dark just out of the blue. So it's nothing like that. It's just like maybe they get like slimed and they're like, see, it's like we did that in training, but like then that slime turns into like acid slime or something, and they just melt away.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
And they're like, oh, okay, nothing like not like bones or anything.
Yeah,
They just disappear because kids film. And they're like, oh yeah, this got a lot more serious, and you can just hear like, like when there were still no fans allowed at stadiums,
yeah, and it was
and they
like
just pump it like robots, and you could just see faces of like the fans in the stands or whatever.
yeah.
It's like that, and people are just clapping or whatever. And maybe one of them in the audience is his dad, who's just watching mindless TV, and he's like,
Yeah.
so he's like, so then Dustin's like, yeah, them killing us doesn't seem right.
You think?
And then the girl whose name I have forgotten.
Violet.
Violet, thank you. She's like, see, that's what I told you. I said you shouldn't have gone. And he's like, well, what about you? Why did you show up today then? And she's like, to stop you from going out and doing something stupid. He's like, why would you care what I... And she like pulls him in and kisses him. And he's like,
Oh.
oh, okay. He's just like, well, and he's like, and she's like, okay, are you listening now? And he's like, yeah, sorry, of course. And she's like, I didn't think she's like, I knew I had to stop this somehow. Like hundreds of kids get killed every year just from this program, and he says that it makes us strong, or whatever, you know. But like then I never see us going out on actual missions, actually saving the world. That's why I signed up.
Damn.
You know, I used to love singing, but then singing killed my grandma. No. Yeah, she has some tragic backstory,
Yeah.
and she's like, so I wanted to go out to stop the men that did it, and what happened, and then it's like a flashback, and she's like, he said I wasn't ready, and it cuts to Cody Banks, so he's like, you're not ready. And then you see her like training in her room, and as this is happening, like that family, no, that those same guys are out doing it to another family,
Yeah.
and she reads about it in the paper the next day, and she's just like, ah, and so that's why she's the best at what she does, because she kept training and training and training,
Yeah.
and she's like, I never thought I'd be able to do it. Like I knew I'd never be able to do it on my own, and I didn't think I'd ever see anyone who had that same kind of drive that I did. But then I saw you, and well, you don't have that. And he's like, oh.
Oh.
He's like, but you've got something better. You're more human than I am. Like I see the way you talk to that nerd, and algebra's like, I'm right here. Or like, even the way you act towards your little robot friends, You're the most human of us all. You value life. And I feel like together, we could actually make a real difference. And he's like, okay, that's all well and good, but how are we going to get through this alive and then get sent on missions? She's like, you're not listening to me. They're not like sending us on missions. We need to we need to shut this place down, and then we need to go around and just do things ourselves. Otherwise, they're not going to get done. And he's like, okay, fine. How are we going to do this then? And she's like, I think I've got an idea. He's like, if you can hack into the mainframe, blah, 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 blah. It's, like computer jargon. And like, so it zooms in and like, so she's like, if you can, and it just like zooms in and like mutes. So like she's explaining something.
Yeah.
And so they all get ready to run. And it cuts that, and then Algebra's running and he trips and he's like, oh, I can't get up. Someone help me, please. And Cody just looks down at him. He's like, so how is he even still alive? What a waste of potential.
Ugh.
And then you see Violet run past doing all her flips and that, and he's like, see, that's what the perfect agent looks like. And once we complete our our mind control chips, we'll be able to have the perfect soldier we can send out and blah 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 blah.
God damn.
And like his assistant's like, the what? And he's like, don't worry. And so they're like running through the course, and Violet's running through the course and whatnot. And she's going in, she's bossing it. She's like, and then cuts back to Cody. He's like, where's what's his name? Dustin. I haven't seen him in it. And just at that moment, all the lights go dark.
Ooh.
And they're like, what the hell was that? He's like, quick, turn on the emergency power. And so the bare minimum is there. There's like red flashing lights.
Yeah.
All the live streams stopped happening and whatnot. So at this point they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna have to send security around to see what's going on. So the security leave Cody Banks on his own.
Ugh.
And that's when Dustin walks in. But actually, no, he's like hanging from the ceiling. So you see Cody Banks like looking around, and you just see like Dustin like slowly like peel off the ceiling.
Jeez.
And they engage in hand-to-hand combat, as it were. And they're going for it. They're scrapping. They're like,
Big fights.
And he's like, why won't you send any of us on missions? Why are you so happy to kill the kids on this live stream thing, but you won't let us go out and risk our lives for what we actually want to do?
Oh.
He's like, because how does that help anyone? He's like, if you go out and represent the agency and die, what is that? That's nothing but bad publicity. If
Damn.
you do it here, at least I can make a couple of bucks.
Oh. God damn.
It is like, money's the motive. My name is Banks after all. And he's like, what happened to you? You used to be like one of the best agents. He's like, yeah, well, I grew up.
Oh.
He's like, do you know how many people I saved? Do you know where my childhood went? Neither do I. I didn't have one. I spent my childhood going all around the world, acting like going into all these different schools. I never had any friends. And for what? Where was my thanks? Nowhere. My parents don't even know I exist. They think I'm dead.
Jesus.
He's like, and then it dawned on me. He's like, they were doing it wrong. He's like, see, all they cared about was making the world a better place. But bad people are going to exist no matter what. So why not make a bit of money on the side?
Damn.
What he doesn't realize is now Algebra's now snuck into the room and he's like live streaming all of this.
Yeah.
And so everyone who's watching that sees all of it and they're like, oh, snap, okay. This guy's a little bit more dodge. And like Banks sees him and he's like, what's it? Have you been He's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna.
Oh,
And he goes right up to him, and he goes to hit him, and Dustin goes, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
oh.
And he goes, where's your lighter? He's like, what do you mean? It's in my. Pats himself down, but the lighter's gone.
Oh.
And he's and Dustin looks at him. He's like, see, that's the problem between me and you. That's the difference between me and you. You know, all you see are waste of potential. Waste of potential.
Yeah.
Wasted potential. What I see life. I see my friends. I see a better tomorrow. He flicks it and it explodes. The screen goes like completely white. Oh, actually no, sorry. I forgot there were just like bags of money in there as well. You know, like the Monopoly man, like with like the S on it and coins and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just filled in this room because he's like, ha ha ha, money. So the explosion goes off and the room just goes white. But like just before it does, you hear Banks go, wait! And it just goes white. And then the newspaper's like thrown into frame and it just says, you know, local teens die in explosion.
Right.
Remains unknown. And but so there's the three of them there, but you only see like artist rendition sketches of them.
Yeah.
And you see a hand pick it up, and you're like, see, it doesn't even look. I don't even look like that. They got my nose completely wrong, and it's algebra.
Yeah.
But his hand was like nearest to the grenade, so his hand got blown off. So now he's got like a robot. He's got a robot hand.
Nice.
He's like, see, I don't even look like that. He's like, they got me out here. I just think it's disrespectful at this point. And then Violet goes, can you stop complaining for like 5 minutes? And then you know like the Marvel disguises with like the hat, the
Caps and the glasses, yeah.
Yeah. They're in that kind of get up. And then Dustin goes, you know what? I'm just happy we made it out of there alive. And so like they flick through the newspaper and they get to the back and there's like a help wanted kind of section.
Yeah.
And they're like, and so Violet goes, so what do we do now? And Dustin looks up and goes, guess it's time to get to work.
Wow.
And it like zooms in on his face and then it ends.
Nice.
And then there's like credits or whatever. But then.
Oh.
But then. Beep. 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 It's like the camera pans over. Beep. Beep. You just see like a bandaged and scarred Cody Banks. And like it gets up to his face and he's got like a load of like coins embedded in his face now.
Oh, goddamn.
And it like beeps again and his eyes just snap open.
Cody Banks will return.
Yeah. But now he's like a villain who just goes by Banks because like, he's got coins in his face.
Yeah. Cody just like fades away, but Banks remains.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What are you thinking?
I like that. That was
How you
good.
feeling?
That was a very good ending. I like that. It was. I could see that happening in a kids' film as well. Like that one bit, and they're all there, ready to go. No, it fakes you out, but it's there. It's good.
Yeah. I think again, I feel like a lot of the stuff we do has franchise potential.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, that's just Hollywood in this day and age, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Everything's a sequel or l'chaim. Did you want to add anything or was
that was brilliant. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Same here.
Yeah. Well, that's been Reinventing the Reel for this week. That was our take on
Kingsman.
Thank you, Kingsman. I almost said Agent Cody Banks. That's been our take on Kingsman. If you enjoyed it, let us know. Maybe we'll do a sequel. Maybe we'll do a prequel with Cody Banks as a spy as an adult or
Ooh.
something. Yeah. But, as always, I've been Curtis.
And I've been Cameron.
I'll see you next week, man.
See you next week, man.